My name's Mark Biedron. I'm the co-founder of the Willow School. I'm also the president of the New Jersey State Board of Education, and I believe education is the answer to everything. By educating children, you're designing your future. Human beings are actually hardwired to want to connect to not only other human beings, but to connect to nature. And if you can combine that with your building using natural materials, natural light, natural ventilation, when people go in it, they go, wow, it feels good to be here. We built the first LEED Gold School building in the country back in 2001 and 2. We built the first LEED Platinum building of any type in New Jersey in 2007. And then when we needed to expand, we were looking at ourselves going, is this really the end game? Is nature really sustainable? We arrived at a point where we didn't believe sustainability was enough. So along comes the Living Building Challenge, and they say, okay, well, how do you make a building that actually participates with the ecosystems of your place and actually acts like a tree? So here we come. We build this building, and that's how we've gotten to where we are.
We feel that we're a driving force in the industry. We've grown. We do a lot of specialty stuff. One of our favorite products right now is the Mitsubishi product. We feel that we can go in and offer a lot more to customers out there with what they have and what they offer. We're all about efficiency at Supreme. We want to sell somebody a system that's going to run, it's going to save them money, and at the end of the day, they're going to be happy. This particular installation was a new construction ground up. And when we went in there, the first thing we thought of was the VRF system. As we got into it and worked with it, we sold the customer on Mitsubishi.
In the Living Building Challenge, your building has to be net zero energy. And so we did an incredible, huge energy model study on ground source heat pump, geothermal, your system, standard chiller. I think there were 5 systems in the matrix. Your system came out on top in terms of cost, in terms of efficiency, in terms of really flexibility, that we could be putting units, these small units everywhere, less duct work, the list goes on and on. We had the entire design team together talking about your equipment. We modeled the building around your equipment. We really did a full-on evaluation of it, and we were very, very pleased, and to the state we're very, very pleased.
The installation was fairly simple. It was just a matter of, because it's a LEED job, making sure everything's covered and clean and neat. It wasn't a tough job at all.
It was seamless. I mean, we did a lot of work here, and there was a lot of questions and a lot of issues. But when our contractor came in, who we've been using since day one as well, I mean, it was seamless. And I think because of the less amount of stuff, there was less possibilities of problems. When you have these huge, long duct runs and all this stuff that goes through spaces, you always run into steel beams that aren't supposed to be there and stuff. But they came in, we were able to work around it. It all worked perfectly, and when we turned the system on, it was great.
Again, everything flowed with the project as it went along, so there was no issues. Our big thing was keeping everything covered and clean and neat, making sure nothing was touched until date of startup. We located the Mitsubishi units outside where when the people could come in, they could see exactly what units are providing. And like I said, when we got to the end for startup, that's when the Mitsubishi team came in and worked with us, helped us set the system up, program it, get it up and running, and so far so good.
We have your units prominently displayed outside. One of the pieces of the Living Building Challenge is you want children to really understand how the building works. When they look at that, like, what are those things? And so the conversation comes into the classroom, what we're doing. It worked into our design perfectly. That these small units that fit in the classrooms were perfect and didn't take up that much space. And they're pretty tight spaces in there, and they worked really well in there.
The Mitsubishi difference at the Willow School is that they were trying to achieve, like I said, like a net zero operating expense. And the low SNE units that they use for outside air to the comfort levels of the air, they were just trying to go above and beyond what they normally do.
Well, we get a lot of questions, especially from people who are designing living buildings. They call me up all the time, like, how did you get around this? How did you do this, right? And the number one question typically, because it's such a driving question, how do you heat and cool it, right? I go through the same thing I just told you. We looked at it. We didn't just pick it out like, out of thin air. We did a huge study on this. So yes, we've recommended it to many people actually.